Nebraskans are pissed. Bigley, Askins, the Askins are pissed. Nebraskans. No one wants to hear Farmer John with his butt crack showing, married to a Karen, complaining about losing your little farm when you voted for me. They don't feel sorry for you, and I don't need your votes anymore, so I don't care. Bigley. Nebraskans, what did you think was gonna happen? If all you workers were Mexicans and we got rid of all the Mexicans, who's gonna be your workers? Guess what? You can take a page from the book of the Native Americans, followed by the African Americans, Chinese Americans, Indian Americans. Listen, what we're gonna do is crash the economy so all the rich people can buy up everything for super dirt cheap, including your land, Nebraska farmer dude. I don't know. And once we buy it for dirt cheap, we will hire you to work on said land. Hello, this is a tale as old as time. We've done it so many times before. And the fact that you thought you were exempt is absolutely hilarious.
Did y'all see that farmer that voted for Trump that's now about to lose his farm because of Trump? Even though Kamala was the one who passed the bill to give him the money that he needed for his farm in the first place. Now he's on TikTok begging for us to help him keep his farm, and he gonna say, oh, it's not supposed to be an us versus us. It's supposed to be us versus them. Us. Then he gonna say, oh, it's corrupted on both sides of the aisle. It's all about money. So you thought the felon who was impeached was in the pockets of billionaires, had dozens of cases out against him. You thought he was the less corrupt option to go with over the woman who worked in all three branches of the government, spent her entire life being a civil servant, and passed the specific bill that gave you the loan that you needed for your farm, that the administration you voted for has just signed an executive order to undo. Oh, all I have for you, sir, are concepts of sympathy. I have concepts of thoughts and prayers. Do I have them actually? No. I won't be holding up the prayer line for you. Why would I do that? No, I'm not helping. No. And what's so funny is there's probably a bunch of farmers that voted for Trump that are now about to lose their farms because of him. Y'all thought he cared about y'all just because y'all share the same. He don't. Because not only do you have to be YT for him to actually give a fuck about you, you also have to be rich. That's the point y'all are missing. Y'all not rich. Y'all are working people. He's not for.
Just say I was at all soybeans and $150 an acre loss. You're looking at $450,000 a loss for just doing my job. I'm paying an additional $450,000 instead of making anything. I've never seen a crisis like this. Without intervention, we're talking about generational loss of farmers.
In the last year, farm bankruptcies here in Arkansas have nearly doubled.
The tariffs are a problem, but think of it as being in a coffin, and we're going to nail the lid shut. The tariffs are the final nail.
A handful of companies have built a global system in which they always win, and American farmers are lucky to break even.
I know goddamn good and well we're not about to write some fucking socialist checks to all these MAGA farmers complaining about how they're about to lose everything as a direct result of their own fucking actions. Is that really where we are right now? So you voted the way that you did out of bigotry and racism, hatred, blind fucking ignorance, sheer morbid stupidity. You voted for what's happening to you. And now, on the verge of you losing everything, you demand that the government give you a handout after you just voted for them to get rid of all the social safety nets because of the freeloaders. And that's the issue with you dumb fucks, is that you think this country is for you. You think the Constitution is for you. You think everything is for you. And no one else deserves anything. If someone else loses their job or their health care, gets sick, Eat shit. I don't care. That's your fucking attitude. That's what you say to these people. To everyone. But when you fucking need it, well, that's what it's for. It's your God-given right to receive handouts from the fucking government, isn't it? You fucking piece of shit. I'm gonna be honest, I hope you lose everything. I hope your entire life fucking crumbles around you. And there's nothing you can do about it. But, on the bright side, once you become homeless, you can just come join the rest of us in these fucking labor camps and gulags that they're setting up for the homeless people. Just come join us, it'll be fine. And also, we can probably re-gift you some thoughts and prayers that you guys have been throwing at us over the school shootings, over the past, I don't know how many decades, because those don't do shit. If you want those back, you can have them back. Thoughts and
So I want to talk about this article really quick because it's all starting to make so much sense right now. This author and journalist was having lunch with friends. There was a white guy and he's married to a black lady, and they were talking politics. And he says that farmers weren't worried about Trump deporting migrants because, wait for it, they thought because unemployment was so high for black people that these black people would run back to the fields and do the jobs that the migrants were doing when they got deported. So she asked, like, where'd you get that information from? White farmer TikTok or MAGA Facebook memes? Like, where'd you get this information from? And her and the wife basically started giving him information, letting him know unemployment is only 6.8% for African Americans, and 93% of black people are currently working. Got so caught up in what they were hearing at Fox News and other places, thinking black jobs, immigrants are taking black jobs, that they just assumed they'd get rid of the immigrants and black people would take the immigrants' jobs. Sir, our ancestors did not march, die, and fight for civil rights so we could go back to the fields? Like, what? But shout out to the Latino immigrant population that have mastered that labor with skill and stamina. This country doesn't even appreciate it enough. Oh, and by the way, when they do try to hire Americans, black or white, to do those jobs, most of them don't even last half a day. They just ghost them without even picking up their paychecks. True story. So y'all, tell me, do you really believe that they thought black people were planning to replace immigrants in that labor force if they got deported? Because I need to know who was smoking that logic. What do you think?
This is not something that farmers can work around. No one anticipated that we would have a shock to the system. All the experts did not see this coming when we received this rise in fertilizer prices because of this war.
Nobody saw this coming. Nobody saw this coming. Nobody thought that electing Donald Trump to go on a revenge path and do whatever he wants completely unchecked would lead to this. Nobody said anything. Kamala Harris didn't say anything. The people on social media, the liberals, the Democrats, the sensible independents, anybody with more than 2 brain cells didn't see this coming. We all saw this coming. We knew there was going to be a war. We knew there was going to be a conflict. We knew that his idea for tariffs was terrible. We knew that mass deportations was terrible. We knew that everything he was bringing to the table, all of his, well, I haven't thought about that, half-baked plans were terrible. So don't sit here now and say nobody saw this coming, shock to the system out of nowhere. No, he started this war with Iran single-handedly, and we knew he would do something exactly like it. So these farmers want to continue to tell us, we didn't know, we're in pain, all these big farmers are getting the subsidies and the bailouts, we're suffering, we're going to close our family farm. You fucked around and now you're finding out. I don't know.
I love the farmers. They're great. They're the greatest. And by the way, they're getting killed now.
They are.
They're getting killed because of the stupid administration.
The suicide rate among farmers and ranchers is 3.5 times the national average. As of the last agricultural census, the average debt for a large operation is $1.8 million. The United States is losing 4.3 acres of farm ground every minute. In 2023, under the Biden-Harris administration, the U.S. became a net food importer for the first time. We are witnessing the largest hollowing out of rural America.
Right, Chulukan fella. They only voted for hate and racism, and now today they have lost everything. They have lost their farms. Their farms has went bankrupt. Today their pockets empty. Every dollar they have been collecting has been consumed by the government, by the system, because when they are voting for air tariffs, they are voting not knowing it's going to cripple their farms. When they are voting for deportation, they never knew that the people who are being deported are the people who have been working on their farms to improve their farm products. They never knew that these are the laborers who have been making their work to be where it was. They never knew that these are the people who are drilling the money or dollars in the economy through the consumer point. Maybe they would have not. They might not be in a boosting economy directly, but through that little amount they're spending each every time, it is boosting economy, and that's the money that every time builds the country because it's being generated each and every day without limit. So today, the prices of farm products are insane, and many of the Americans or the MAGA farmers are not already able to afford for them to acquire their farm products so that they can be able to have or to get all they used to get for the longest time. You know, they are the people who have been living in America because of the farm, because of the farming. And through the farming, they have been able to acquire a lot, to build their own economy, to build their own life, to provide for their own families, to pay for their bills, and to provide for their basic needs. But since Trump came to power, everything has fallen apart. The table has turned around. And today they are so desperately begging for help, asking for forgiveness, desperately walking away from MAGA, desperately blaming each other, desperately cursing or putting curse upon Donald Trump because they feel like he has betrayed them. He made the promises, false promises, and he made them to believe in him, hoping that he's going to improve their life, their farms, their farm businesses, and everything that they all time hoped for. But now, here we are. Let me be clear about this. You know, you can make a decision just to benefit as an individual, but at the end of the day, you find yourself that you have ruined your life, and that is what Americans did. They believed in Trump so much. They forgot every mess that he created and he made for the first time. And they believe that he's going to erase his mess and maybe make their life better again because he promised them America great again. But what they never asked themselves is, what was the American great again? What was that meaning of making America great again? Because making America great again, they were not involved. It was not upon the American citizens, but it was upon the American policies, American government policies. And that's why when Trump came to power, he did all that he promised them. He dealt with the immigrations, he dealt with the deportations, he dealt with the tariffs and everything. And that was the policy that he was trying to tell Americans, which today they're coming to realize that it was all about to destroy them. And today, this is the time that they're feeling the shift and they're painfully regretting to believe in that person that they voted him out for the first time. And today, they're here crying out, seeking for sympathy and empathy, but nobody's there to listen or to help the MAGA voters, even from their own people, not only from the people who are anti-Trump, but from even their own community. They're not ready to associate this. So I would just take a lot of time because we have a lot to discuss about. At this time, let me just have your views in the comment section. What do you think about this? Are you supporting the farmers who are coming out to cry, or are you don't have nothing to do with them? Maybe blessed as you continue creating space for more of the commentaries each every minute. And peace out.